servant of God. That title, that expression is used in many ways, in many parts of the spiritual journey. But truly, the relationship with becoming a servant. Why do you have to become a servant? And how do you become a servant? Why is it that you have not been a servant always? And what does it mean? What is it for? To serve love is the only purpose. Remembering, awakening, and serving love. It is where every ounce of joy comes from. It is where every ounce of wisdom comes from. It is where every element of truth comes from. Serving love. Serving love can look exactly like serving the ego. So the clues are not going to be within the form. The truth of the offering is in the intention, the purpose, the calling, the direction, until it becomes completely natural, until there is nothing else pulling in any way except to serve love. This call to serve love is speaking and whispering to you all the time, all the time. It's not easily heard because it speaks softly. And there's no agenda that comes with it. There is no agenda that says, I'm going to serve by doing what I do, and then the I will be satisfied. The service of love is calling from the deepest place of your heart to just offer love in whatever way that it wants to be expressed. Wants to be expressed. Not the way that we would automatically express, but as love wants to be expressed. So the most amazing miracles begin to occur where you're saying words that, and in a vibration that you don't even recognize, that you offer something to someone that isn't something that you are drawn to. But love is calling you, love is drawing you. You're not listening to the I anymore in the same way. You're not listening to the habit that the ego wants you to always listen to. Almost imagine that the Holy Spirit is spinning you in the opposite direction of the ego's spin. Everyone is accustomed to the ego spin of how it feels and how familiar and oh, I know this. I can wrangle this. The Holy Spirit turns you in the other direction and untangles you from that spin that you've been in. And in deep gratitude, the Holy Spirit brings you to a place that says, I don't know. My habits aren't entrenched as they were. My beliefs of the me is not on solid ground anymore. And all that is asked is to allow the Holy Spirit to unravel, to spin you in the other direction. And don't be afraid of the unknown. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's always divine grace because you have said yes. Grace is serving you. Don't judge it. Don't judge it as unfamiliar, disliked. I would do it a different way. Why am I being told to do it this way? For the simple purpose of learning that deep humility of I don't know. The spiritual journey is an unlearning as well as a learning. And the only place to be with it is in trust, faith, that this is so divinely orchestrated that you don't have to have any concerns, and any concerns that you have, see it for what it is. The concerns are nothing else but resistance. Resistance to healing. It is not the difficulty, it is the resistance. The difficulty becomes the resistance. It need not be. Let yourself spin with the Holy Spirit into a deep truth of reality. And life exists there, the true life of love. Moment to moment, unravel. And the servant of love emerges. The servant of love, the servant of truth, the servant of compassion, the servant of no attachment, just love. Open the door, it's right there. Imagine while this hymn is being sung that you're spinning in the other direction, unraveling. Because every prayer has the purpose of unraveling within it. Teach me to open my heart. Spin me to open my heart. All that I thought I knew about the heart, put it down, put it into the bonfire of love, and open to Show me the way to the heart. Oh, teach me to open my heart to those who come here to be healed. Oh, teach me to open my heart to this love, to heal all the pain of this world. We have strayed from the love of our Father and wandered in pain since our birth. It was Jesus who came here to save us all, to release all this pain here on earth. Oh, my mother, the queen of the sea, it's your love that I feel inside me. Teach me to love from the depth of my heart, to heal all the pain that I see. My Father is here with his love. He knows how to care for us all. He loves everyone who has come to this world, all those who have answered this call. Teach me. The words teach me are words that the ego never wants to hear. The ego's words are, I know, don't tell me how to do this, I know, I know, I know. And the words of the Holy Spirit are, teach me, teach me. I don't know. A new world, a new land, a new truth, teach me. I'm willing. I ask for comfort from the kings, from the heavens, the forest, and the sea. I ask for comfort from the queens to come and illuminate me. I ask for comfort from the princes, from the heavens, the forest, and the sea, and I ask for comfort from the princesses to come and illuminate me. I ask for comfort from the angels, from all the heavens, the forest, and the sea, and I ask for comfort from the saints to come and illuminate me. Show me. Bring me the comfort. Eu peço conforto às reis do céu, da floresta, do mar. Peço conforto às rainhas para nos iluminar. Eu peço conforto às príncipes do céu, da floresta, do mar. Peço conforto às princesas para nos iluminar. Eu peço conforto aos anjos do céu, da floresta, do mar. Peço conforto a seus santos para nos iluminar. We want to be illuminated. I ask for illumination. I ask for the truth. And I ask for the truth to be illuminated so that I can see the truth, accept the truth, embrace the truth, and live the truth. Illuminate my mind, illuminate my heart, illuminate. Did you feel that before? Lord, who can be trusted with power, and who may act in your place? Those with a passion for truth and justice, who speak the truth from their hearts, who have let go of selfish interests and grown beyond their own lives, who see the wretched as their family and the poor as their flesh and blood. They alone are impartial and worthy of everyone's trust. Their compassion lights up the whole earth, and their kindness endures forever. This is the truth within each one. And this is the road to that truth. To become the one who has let go of the selfish interests. But how do you let go of selfish interests? And what are selfish interests? The self, the little self, the ego self, that has at its core the intention of everyone always believing that they are without. When you believe you are without, and it's not a place of reasoning, it is a place of fear, deep within, the belief that you are without. Immediately, the ego in the material sense goes to the belief that to be without is to be without monetary substance. To be without, the belief of being without, is the belief that love is not abundant. Who have let go of selfish interests and grown beyond their own lives, which only says, I see beyond. And the old is dropped away. The belief that there is not enough, that love needs to be rationed, that everywhere you look it's limited in some way. You look and you see the limitation. When you see that limitation, the ego says, this is lack. There is not enough. You are deprived. And that belief in deprivation is mean. It's a mean element of the ego. It uses meanness. It protects, defends. Afraid of not having enough. But it's what you see in the world when beloveds are battling with each other, physically, verbally, or just in their minds. That all the battles are based on lack. And the belief that you do have to protect and defend your feelings, your possessions, your ideas, all of it has to be protected. In this upside downness of being protected, there's no possibility of the heart opening, because it's It goes against the fear of the scarcity. It is a tremendous leap of faith to step past that fear. That belief that has been the propaganda of the ego for every lifetime. You will be without if you open your heart and offer your love and be the servant of that love. This propaganda is hidden for the most part. Because if we saw it right away, if we saw it at even 5 years old, if we saw the pain of it at 5 years old, even then we would be able to say, this can't be. This can't be what I'm here for. But it's hidden enough that it just becomes the law of the land. Everyone protects, everyone defends, everyone is fearful of the lack. And believing always that it is someone else that has what you're looking for. That's where comparisons came from. What would we have to compare if there was no seeing of differences? And love is calling. Love is calling not to condemn, not to in any way judge either your own heart or what you project. There is no place for judgment. There is nothing to judge. All of those beliefs, the belief in scarcity, the belief in lack, it's totally fabricated. It has no truth. So to judge it or condemn it is to condemn or judge an illusion. And yet, it is the illusion that is running the show when it's believed in. And what is and how is the healing possible if you are afraid of seeing it? Every beloved holds exactly the same beliefs. There's no way to compare beliefs. You have more beliefs of this or that. No, it's all the same. It's all the same and it's all made up. None of it is true. So when you embrace that it has no truth, and you're willing to be the one who is called to go beyond the fear of lack, and you are the one who is called by love itself to go beyond the fears of judgment, you can be that servant of love, which you truly are already. It's just hasn't been brought to its fullness. But the main element that holds every beloved in limitation is the fear of being judged for the expression and the belief in lack. And yet, the call of love is that there is absolutely nothing to judge, to completely surrender judgment of every kind, of every element, of every opinion into the hands of God. You Judgment is not what heals at all. Condemnation has no healing. And the judgment stands in the way of correction. Correction is not judgment. Correction is a shift in awareness. It is a shift. It is an acceptance of truth rather than the made-up world of the ego. It is not the story of the world that has one guilty and one innocent. There are no guilty. There are no guilty. It's a total fabrication. And yet, the prayer becomes, show me, teach me how to offer love, to be the servant of love. How would I possibly learn to be the servant of love without the teacher of love showing the way? Show me the mysteries, show me the truth of offering love and being open to generosity and gentleness and kindness, and because it is what you are. It is who you are. You are the one to be trusted with the power of love in the truth of love. To be the one that has a passion for justice and truth. Passion, not a vendetta, not a looking for anyone who is not up to the snuff of it, but to bring the passion of truth to every beloved with love. That you love them so much that you want their happiness. That you love them so much that you can't see anything but God in them. And that you will never be without them because there is only one. With everyone. Who see the wretched as their family. The wretched. Who are the wretched? Well, the secret is the wretched is anyone that seems to not be in alignment. But to agree that this is your family, it is because the wretched are there for each beloved to be able to look past wretchedness and see the divine. To take every beloved into your heart and have no opinion about anything about them. Just to love the wretched and the poor as their flesh and blood. This is just the calling that says there's nothing to be afraid of, not with anyone. And there is nothing to judge with anyone, and there's nothing to separate from with anyone. And it has nothing to do with the world's belief of relationship. It has nothing to do with you're my best friend and you're not. This is child's playground. It is to love without any partiality. I like you better, I like you less. All the likes disappear. Love has nothing to do with like. Love is the recognition of the divine. The recognition of the purity and innocence and beauty of everything that God has made in His image, the image of the divine spirit of the universe, the exquisite light that each beloved is, so dazzling, so bright, so perfect, that your mind could not even conjure up something that you think needs improvement, because the outside is not the truth. The divine spirit of love is waiting to be recognized. And as you recognize it in everything, you recognize it deeper and deeper within, because it's all that one reflection in perfection, waiting. They alone are impartial and worthy of beloved's trust. It is a place of great honor to have the trust of another. It's an honor. And how do we open to that trust? We see the innocence and we trust them with our innocence. It's a deep learning to want to be trustworthy. I remember when I used to, if I would go someplace socially, and I would be at a gathering, and I would come home from the gathering, and it was like hell. I would come home and I would attack everything that I said, everything that I thought, every move that I made. I would judge and attack. I would do it about others too, but I was the main goal. That hatred, that attack was just habit. It was a habit that was nurtured, that everything had to be difficult and a battle, and that everyone else was really in my suspicion. I was judging everything I said, everything I did, to counter the belief that everyone else was judging me anyways. It was all upside down. It was all pain and suffering for nothing. But it was my fantasy, my story. Could it continue? It could continue exactly the same way. But at a point, it was no more. I cannot allow this and be the servant of love. I cannot allow any thoughts of judgment, opinions about this one or anyone. I cannot allow it. Now, cannot allow it is a statement of decision, but it could not be attached to that if I slipped and went the other way, that there was still no judgment, there was only correction. The judgment was, again, the old habit that seemed in the past to be legitimate. No judgment, but willing to be corrected. I want to see the way of truth. Show me. Teach me. Teach me to open my heart. Teach me to learn how to not judge. If you have to, this would be my prayer, if you have to stub my toe every time I have a judgment, if you have to let me step on a nail every time I have an opinion, show me so that I don't go back into this trance, so that I can stop attacking and judging everything. Did the Holy Spirit accommodate that? Yes. Yes. Not that there were needles all over the place or thumbtacks all over the place, but I kept getting some kind of sharpness within that would remind me that what I had just said or thought was not of love. That was a gift. It wasn't a curse, it was a gift. Everyone has to find the way of healing the judgment and the pain. The pain of being with beloveds that you're afraid of, that you're terrified of their judgments, and not realizing that as you are terrified of their judgments, it's actually a projection from your own mind. You are the one who is judging you. You don't need anybody else to be the judge. When I went into seclusion, that became so clear. I didn't need anybody else to be a foil for my mind. My mind was plentiful of judgment and opinions and fears, and I didn't need anybody else to dance with. I carried it all. And then it became really clear. No, I didn't need anybody else's judgment because there really wasn't anybody else's judgment. I could project it onto anybody and think it was coming from outside. And that would be very satisfying for a while because the ego would be so happy to be in the belief of being unfairly treated. So much so that it was so familiar that you could kind of lay low there. But the Holy Spirit kept bringing it to the surface. No, it's my mind. It's just my mind. Judgments, judgments, judgments. Opinions, opinions, opinions. Fear, fear, fear. And none of it was true. You are the family of everyone. You are the light of God that has been called to serve that love and to be the servant of love. And all the stuff that's kind of the barricade, it's just to forgive yourself and refuse it. There's no need for judgment. There's no need for suspicions or anything else. It's the unraveling. Let the Holy Spirit just spin you in the opposite direction of everything you think you know, because that's the unlearning. It's like a record being played backwards. unraveling, 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 until there's an open space and love is recognized so deeply. Unraveled. I thank you. I praise you, dear God, because you have saved me from this seeming disaster that I made. I cried out, "Help me, dear God. I'm frightened and I have lost my way." You came to me in the perceived darkness and you breathed life into my spirit. You plucked me from the perceived abyss. You healed me and I remembered wholeness. You rescued me from despair. You turned my lament into dancing. You lifted me up. You took off my mourning and you clothed me with joy. All this, sing to God. You who love him, thank him from the depth of your heart, for though he may seem to be absent, in your recognition, you will remember that he is here, and the joy arrives with the dawn. Therefore, my soul blesses God, blesses love. With every breath that I take, my song, my eternal gratitude, and my silence will be filled with his praise. That is the center of your being. God is the center of your being. And my silence will be filled with his love. I don't know. Thank God. The Holy Spirit can bring the truth to every beloved. Thank God. All in all. Could you help me with this? An ant said to an elephant. When a large seed the ant was dragging back to its nest got stuck between some grass. The elephant, looking down and feeling kind-hearted that day, began to contemplate all that might be needed to render some service. But the task just seemed too delicate and in need of more precision than the elephant's trunk or one of his feet or even his tail or one of his grand ears could handle effectively. So the elephant began to pray for divine intervention. And sure enough, it worked, or it seemed to. A berry on a nearby bush happened to fall in such a way as to free the seed from its onward destination. The elephant's faith in God was increased, and the ant, having heard the prayer, was now less of an agnostic, which he had been for at least a year or so because of some personal reasons. He would rather keep private. All in all, it seemed that things were moving ahead, working out for the best. All in all. Can the elephant be the servant of love? Absolutely. There's nothing within the world of creatures that is known truly to the ego. All of these divine beings are in a world of communication. The human is so arrogant, the ego human is so arrogant that the ego human says, it doesn't exist unless I know it's true. It doesn't exist unless I've seen it and heard it and see what it is. If I don't hear a dog talking, dogs don't talk. Cats don't communicate. That is the arrogance of the ego. But when you step into the I don't know, even with all of these beloved beings, the elephant, the ant, when you enter into I don't know, you open to letting the Holy Spirit take you into the mysteries of the communication within all beings. When you're in I know, there is no capacity for the mysteries of the world, of the universe, of your universe that is within you and seemingly without. It's all a call to I don't know, to the servant of love. It's all a call. Doesn't matter if it's an elephant and an ant. It doesn't matter if it's a beloved that you don't know their name, you do know their name. None of it matters. That's all what's been made up to keep everyone separate. I asked a while ago to allow yourself to not attach to anyone's name or their identity, and to let yourself enter and meet the divine without the world identity with it, to make it as easy as possible to enter. And it's a beautiful oneness. As soon as you say somebody's name, in some way of that, you've separated yourself from them by having them have another identity in your mind. But when you refer to them as beloved, and you either know their name or you don't, but it doesn't matter because they're your beloved. They're one with you. There's nothing to compare. There's nothing to be cautious about. Where does the caution come from? We've examined the ego. It comes from the ego. But the funny thing is that the caution really is, I'm afraid you're going to do something that will hurt me. And the freedom is in this exquisite place that finally realizes I can't be hurt. I cannot be hurt. And it's almost like standing in the middle of a space and saying, come on, take your best shot. Is that all you've got? You're going to call me stupid? You're going to call me unwanted? You're going to call me what? Take your best shot. And it gives the opportunity of offering love and a giggle of the heart, because it doesn't mean anything. Everybody has opinions, except God doesn't. There are no opinions. There's no judgment in God. And so there can't be any in all of creation. It's not possible that it has any meaning at all. And all that you have to do is to recognize that. When someone is saying something or doing something that seems to hit in a place of the past, a disturbance of some kind, refuse it and see the light of truth within them and embrace that. Hear the call for love. Hear the call for help. It's the easiest thing in the world to judge. Easy. We can all do it in our sleep. We all do it in our sleep. But none of it's true. And it's so easy to be self-critical. to self-judge, it's easy. We've got plenty of ammunition. We've got a whole Bible of self-stories of our wrongdoings. None of them are true. And the freedom is waiting for you, and it's exquisite. Imagine how it would be to find fear, because it's so not here, because it's disappeared and there's nothing to be afraid of. And it's hard to find, and love is easy. Love is natural. In the law of God, all is love. And there is only the law of God. The rest can fly away to the breeze. It doesn't exist. All in all, one giving a miracle to another, constantly offering love. But every time you offer love, it begins with, I don't know what's most helpful. Show me the way. I'm here only to be truly helpful, but I need help in seeing what that might be. And in that is the happy heart, the singing heart, the grateful heart. All of love. Perfection. The Holy Spirit wants you to learn everything about the truth of love. And it is your constant companion, and asking you to bring the truths that the Holy Spirit offers into every aspect of every day, living it fully, embracing it fully. Don't allow the temptation of learning something, because everyone is learning everything all the time, and to learn something and then not to live it, because it's only there for living it. There's no advantage to learn something and then not use it, not live it. Live what's offered, and healing is guaranteed. All in all, the ant is less of an agnostic. That's the power of love, when you can make an ant believe in God, even a little.